Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit is just over. World leaders met, discussed. Actually, the people of Russia, India, and China should thank Donald Trump for making us go together. He brings this wonderful statement that since Bharat is buying oil from Russia, and Russia is killing Ukrainian people with that money which they take from Bharat, Bharat should be penalized. He calls it as punitive tariffs. My God! First of all, who the hell is he to decide all those things, determine all those things? What kind of authority he has? God alone knows. He's supposed to be believing in God because he claims to have going to heaven. We Hindus don't believe in such a heaven where people go after death. For us, our heaven is a abode of deities with a distinct king and distinct army and distinct army chief. So our concept of heaven is entirely different from your concept of heaven. You think you will die and go to heaven. We die and get moksha. Nobody goes to heaven. Heaven is not a place for people to go. Anyway, that's what he aspires for. So, this person we should thank because he made these people come together. In fact, China buys much more oil from Russia than Bharat. And Bharat refineries refine diesel Ukraine buys. These things doesn't matter to him. For him convenience is criteria. He is very selective in observation. He's a selective observation. He's selective with decisions. He's selective statements. All right. So we take him only with that kind of seriousness. But this forces people come together. You see, why Trump did not go after China? He thought that Bharat is easier target as compared to China, so he targeted Bharat. Because this is the whole thing, if you can trace it back to the Pakistan-Bharat war, 4 days war. And the Trump wanted somehow a Nobel Prize. That's very, very, very pathetic that someone is craving for a prize at this age. He wanted a Nobel Prize for peace, and he thought he would create a situation in such a way. These are the manipulators. These things only manipulators do, and I don't think any genuine person will have respect towards manipulators in this world. But this, of course, obviously is manipulation. He wanted to manipulate a Nobel Prize by projecting himself as bringing peace to the world. What kind of hypocrisy is it for you to think? So he suddenly gets such an opportunity, Bharat and Pakistan having a war, and then he wanted to say that he ended war, and he kept on repeating 30 to 35 times that he ended the war, he brought peace, etc., etc., etc. Bharat was silent, did not give a reply, at all. So that gave him more arrogant strength that he thought he can corner Bharat and bring them to submit to his views and his wishes. He doesn't know the Bharatiya Darshana, our philosophy. Bhagavad Gita talks mukam karoti vachalam. Our silence is pregnant with meaning and actions. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Mukam karoti vachalam. Silence is very meaningful, powerfully meaningful. And we had keeping quiet and did not bother to respond. Why talking? Somebody says something, why should you answer until it is necessary? That's what a wise man does. That's how civilized people behave. But then it has gone beyond, the water has gone beyond our nose. Then in the parliament, we very clearly stated that nobody interfered, nobody talked to us about ending the war. Then, of course, very clearly how the vice president called Bharat to somehow come to terms with Pakistan, in the sense to end the war, then of course, first of all, Bharat did not end the war, which is named as Operation Sindoor. First thing, the war is not over. We put the war in abeyance. Now they create a fantasy. I call it as fantasy. That Americans created a fantasy that these people will go for a nuclear war. Nothing, no nuclear war at all. They said Pakistan will nuke Bharat. Absolutely not. They do not have the capability of doing it. If you ask your soldiers who protect the stockpile of America, the nuclear stockpile in Pakistan, they would tell how the Pakistan can handle the American stockpile which is kept in Pakistan. Otherwise, they don't have any nuclear weapons. You made it and you kept it there. And then they will have nuclear war. They speak about the ultimate thing. First of all, they are incapable of making a nuclear war on Bharat. Secondly, these people have no technical know-how or how to even load a nuclear warhead onto some kind of a platform, be it an aircraft or a missile, whatever. And third, you do not know the air defense capability of Bharat. I did not know also. I myself had worked in air defense for quite some time. At 10 years, I worked in air defense for Bharat. I did not know what are the things they have developed now. 50 years before I know. And that time it was not easy to walk over the air defense of Bharat with your kind of capabilities and our kind of then capability. It was not easy target, even then. We could trace missiles, though we could not intercept missiles those days. Anyway, that's a different topic besides the point. So they don't have the capability. So there's a question of nuclear war. Pakistan, bullhead, cow eaters, they would say, we will die but we'll kill you also. What the hell? That's a foolish statement. There's something which they speak but can't act upon. These kind of things they are incapable of performing. It's only words. They live with words. They live with words. They speak a lot of things. That's what we call as Lahoris. Say so many things and means nothing. So we were quite, and US thought, Trump thought, not US exactly. Trump thought Bharat is a soft target, started targeting. But they wanted Bharat to say yes. The present regime will never say yes to your yes. These are the people who made of a different metal. What is nationalism? I think you should learn from Bharat. What ought to be nationalism? There's something in Sanskrit which you try to understand. Rashtraya Swaha, Idamanna Mama, is what Pujaniya Guruji taught us. Same thing he taught Narendra Bhai Modi also. He knows what it is. Those nationalists in Bharat know what it is. They live like that. They function like that. This, of course, is not intelligible to the cognitive minds of these people. So they thought Bharat is a soft target. But as they push forward and forward, they understand that it's not that easy. And then increasingly, it's difficult to discuss with Bharat. That also they started realizing very slowly but very late. Because of all these things, see, Russia is already coerced by Trump. China is already coerced by Trump. Trump thought they can coerce Bharat without repercussions. So this made all the three come together. And look at the outcome of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's outcome. You force these people come closer. And once this Russia, India, China are able to come together, then it naturally strengthens BRICS. And BRICS is going to be an alternative world order for tomorrow's world. And if things go in the direction that BRICS desires, in the right direction, I would say, dollar will collapse. Because there is a possibility that tomorrow BRICS will come out with their own currency, which would almost substitute dollar. Dollar's arrogance, the American arrogance, American the boisterous nature, this kind of thing, the whole world is fed up with you people. The American rule, I'm telling you, not the people of America. Of course, the people of America are not one. They're migrants from different parts of the world. So, but we have nothing against the people of any nation that way. But the rulers are so arrogant, they think that the world police, world boss, etc., all these things will collapse with the collapse of dollar. You created it, not others. Not the BRICS by themselves. BRICS was not very active. The Russia-India cooperation also was not very active. Even the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is a Chinese initiative, is not that active. You make all these people active. Great policies Trump makes. Great vision Trump makes. And I don't understand the logic of imposing tariff on other nations which their people have to pay. The Americans have to pay. What is he trying to achieve? Nobody knows. What kind of businessman he had been? So successful, but he'll be so successful a businessman. So this is Mukam Karati Vachalam. They are getting it slowly. What will come? Let's see. And I'm very positive that things would happen. Maybe not in a very fast pace, but would take its own pace and would bring its own result. In any case, we Hindus believe in time as cyclical time concept. So this has to happen. The domination from one to the British Empire goes and somebody else comes. Then of course USA and America comes, and then somebody else will come. This cycle will continue. Let's see how things evolve. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.